Sean, are you
So,
saying
Jonathan,
that despite the findings, the bipartisan findings of the Senate Intelligence Committee,
no, they're not findings. There's a statement out today. They have not begun this. As you know, yesterday or 2 days ago, the Department of Justice asked for an additional week. So the statement clearly says that at this time that they don't believe that. They have yet to go through the information. The Department of Justice, as you know, has not supplied this. But I've just read off to you. It's interesting. When the New York Times reports... Hold on.
Let's do that whole long answer.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. So are you saying that the president still stands by his allegation that President Obama ordered wiretapping or surveillance of Trump Tower, despite the fact that the Senate Intelligence Committee says they see no indication that it happened? Does the president still stand by the
first of all,
allegation?
he stands by it, but again, you're mischaracterizing what happened today.
No,
The Senate, I know,
exactly from their statement.
I understand that, and at the same time, they acknowledge that they have not been in contact with the Department of Justice. So, but again, I go back to what I said at the beginning. It's interesting. Hold on. It's interesting how, at the same time, where were you coming to the defense of that same Intelligence Committee and those members when they said there was no connection to Russia? You didn't seem to report it then. There was no. So you want you want to comment and you want to perpetuate a false narrative.
Actually, I did report that Clapper said that.
But when those individuals have gone out time and time again, when Chairman Nunes has said, number one, that there was no information that he's aware of that existed, that got zero reporting. Number two, when he went out yesterday and said, quote, I think it's very possible, you don't include that in the question mark. The bottom line is that the president said last night that he will be providing, that there would be additional information coming forward. There's a ton of media reports out there that indicate that something was going on during the 26th election. And I think it's interesting. Where was the questioning of the New York Times or these other outlets when that was going on? Where was the question? I believe you will. Jim.
Yeah, you were just quoting Sean Hannity there. The House and Senate Intelligence Committees are
I also
quoting
quoted, I get you're going to cherry pick.
The FBI director, you're citing Sean Hannity.
No,
and
okay.
Andrew Napolitano.
You also tend to overlook all of the other sources because I know you want to cherry pick it. But but you do. But where was your concern about the New York Times reporting? You didn't seem to have a concern with that.
We have done plenty of reporting on all of this.
No, but you want to cherry pick one commentary, one piece of commentary.
Associates of the president to the Russians, that has all been looked at. And
no, wait. How do you know all this? How do you seem to be such an expert in this?
I'm saying that this has been looked at, Sean.
How do you know it's been looked at? Hold on. Where is? I'm sorry. I'm afraid to understand. Where can you tell me how you know that all of this is quote been looked at?
You're asking me whether
you
or not
made a
it's been
statement.
looked at.
You said quote. All of this has been looked at.
Other outlets have reported.
No. So okay. So we're supposed. So when your outlet says it's all been looked at,
the president and the Russians during the 2016 campaign, it sounds like during the context of that investigation, there might have been some intercepted communications. The House Intelligence Committee chairman did mention that, and we have reported that. Others have reported that on our air and various publications. But Sean, what you are refusing to answer, the question that you're refusing to answer, is whether or not the president still believes
I'm not
what he
refusing. I just said it
believes.
to Jonathan. I didn't refuse to answer that.
You have a Senate and House Intelligence Committee, both leaders from both parties on both of those panels saying that they don't see any evidence of any wiretapping. So how can the president go on and continue to say
Because that's not
these
because
things?
you're mischaracterizing what Chairman Nunes said. He said, quote, I think it's possible. He is following up on this. So to suggest that is actually, and you're stating unequivocally that you somehow...
Literally, he said if you take the
right, and I think that we've already
he
cleared
is
that up.
wrong.
And he said exactly that. But the president has already said clearly when he referred to wiretapping,
Right.
he was referring to surveillance.
But it sounds like, Sean, that
okay.
you and the president are saying now, well, we don't mean wiretapping anymore
no,
because that's not true anymore.
No,
so now we're going to
that's not
other forms of surveillance. What's it going to be next?
No, Jim, I think that's cute, but at the end of the day, we've talked about this for 3 or 4 days. What the president had the quote wiretapping in quotes. He was referring to broad surveillance, and now you're basically going back. We talked about this several days ago. The bottom line is that the investigation by the House and the Senate has not been provided all of the information. And when it does, but where was the concern? Hold on, I just
reports, not evidence.
No. What I think the president addressed that last night and said there's more to come. These are merely pointing out that I think there's widespread reporting that throughout the 2016 election there was surveillance that was done on a variety of people that came up.
No,
how do you, Jim? I find it interesting that you somehow believe that you.
Of course, they're going to be looking at these various things.
Okay, I get it. Somehow. You seem to believe that you have all of this information. You've been read in on all of these things, which I find very interesting.
I have been read in by the FBI.
Well, so
director,
you're
but
coming
the
to
House
some
and Senate
serious
intelligence
conclusions
committees have
for a
been.
guy that has zero intelligence classified. Well,
I mean, give me some credit.
I'll give you some
A little intelligence, maybe. But no, but
clearance.
what I'm saying is that
I wasn't done. Clearance.
Those two panels.
Maybe both.
Well, come on. Those two panels have spoken with the FBI director, and
I
have been
understand
told there's
that.
no evidence of this.
Okay,
So
I think this question's been asked and answered, Jim.
This farce and just have the
Because
president say
it's
he was
interesting
wrong.
how you jump to all of these conclusions about what they have, what they don't have, and you seem to know all the answers. But at the end of the day, there was clearly a ton of reporting.
from now,
Hold
whatever
on,
you're wrong, you're
Jim.
gonna
Let
say.
me answer. No, I think that there's been a vast amount of reporting, which I just detailed, about activity that was going on in the 2016 election. There's no question that there were surveillance techniques used throughout this. I think by a variety of outlets that have reported this activity concluded. So, and I think when you actually ask those two people whether or not, and as Chairman Nunes says yesterday, when you take it literally in wiretapping, the president's already been very clear that he didn't mean specifically wiretapping. He had it in quotes. So I think to fall back on that is a false premise. That's not what he said. He was very clear about that when he talked about it yesterday.